Welcome back, friends. Today we've got kind of a fun project. I'm bored, I got nothing going on today, and we are going to build us a little swarm trap. It's a good time of year to be doing that. We're here in middle of March here in North Texas, and we're waiting on our nukes to come in, probably another 4 to 5 weeks before we get those. However, I was able to make a deal with the gentleman just the next town over that needed to get rid of a few hives. His neighbors were kind of complaining that he had way too many hives on his property. And so he sold us a couple, complete working hives. So we've got 2 colonies out there that have been out there about a week that are just going gangbusters. And I think we're going to be able to put some honey supers on top of those pretty quick. And, we're going to have a honey harvest this year, it looks like. We weren't expecting it, but we've got it. So we've got 2 nukes, those 2 colonies, kind of bored. So let's see if we can snag some free bees. In all of the stuff that I bought a few months ago, used from a guy out there west of Fort Worth, all his stuff had been sitting for a couple years. We bought a bunch of frames with foundation. We bought several deep boxes, some medium boxes, some top covers. I had to buy a few more things, but basically we were rocking and ready to go. I got 4 of these Atwood nuke boxes. So I gave one to my buddy Dino. He wanted to try and snag some bees too, and that got me to thinking, I really don't need any more bees, but why not? So the research that I've done is that, yeah, you can use a nuke box, but it's kind of on the small side. It's not going to give you your absolute best chance of getting some, but this is all we have. All of my equipment is in use or allocated to what's coming. So what I thought about doing was maybe stacking 2 of these on top of each other. The problem is I'm having to get these all up, in the trees and everything by myself. Everything's gonna have to be done by myself, and I thought that might be a little heavy, a little too wieldy to handle. So what I decided to do is, got some 1x4 here, and I'm just gonna extend this like this. That'll increase the volume about 30%. Strap it together with this, and that'll give the bee some volume down there in the bottom to work, and a little more room to move around. This is just a regular 5-frame nuke box. We've got some old frames here. The ones I'm going to use for this are actually out in the bee yard out there on my hives, and the bees are messing around on them, trying to get a little bee scent on them, if you will. And then when we get this thing hung, we'll put these in. We're going to use a little lemongrass oil as a attractant. I've got some old burr comb we might throw in there and see how it works. But I'm going to get these all put together. We're going to paint them, and then we're going to put a little camouflage paint on them too. And because where they're going, there's a chance somebody could mess with them. I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But if I lose them, I really haven't lost a bunch. But I'm going to put my name and phone number on the back here. One place we scouted out, which was really favorable, I can actually get my truck right up to it, stand on the tailgate and put this up. That's actually on city property, and so that's a good thing. The other place is down in a high power line easement area. It's kind of swampy, but it's close enough to where I can take my 4-wheeler and ride from here down there with the box on the back and everything, and I'll be able to get it pretty easy, but it is kind of swampy. So anyway, let me get this thing put together and get it all configured. Once I get that done, I'll let you take a look at it. Well, we got this thing together just before the rain came yesterday, and so I thought I'd let you see kind of our finished product, or almost finished product. So we took the top cover here, we fixed that hole, put some silicone around it, and I cut a piece of aluminum, screwed it on there so it'll be nice and watertight for the girls to get their work done. These brackets turned out, working out just perfectly. Got everything nice and tight. I just need a few more screws to complete this. But yeah, this thing's not going to be, super heavy. I think I'll be able to get it up and down without any problem by myself. I put an entrance reducer here, and we've got about a 2-inch hole for the girls to get into, get their work done there. Got a nice solid mounting board back here. Got a hole drilled to get that thing in there. And I think this thing is going to work out pretty good. The only thing we got to do now is get a little paint on it, because where we're going to put these, or at least a couple of the places I've scouted out, some other people have access to it as well, and You know, I don't have any, you know, a lot of money in this thing except for the screws and these brackets. But I'd still like to keep it kind of inconspicuous. So we're gonna put some paint on it. That'll help it live a lot longer. This bottom board is really getting kind of old, and this top cover needs some paint too. And then we'll kind of do the rattle can camo on it, see how it looks. So let me get some paint on this thing and we'll show you how it looks from there. Well, here she is, our finished painted swarm trap out of our old Atwood nuke box. Turned out pretty good for a inbred camo job, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to bait it with some of this lemongrass oil from the herb shop for about $4.25 versus Swarm Commander at about $30 a bottle. I'm a new beekeeper, so I don't have any old comb, but I do have some old frames and I do have some burr comb laying around. So what I did is I just melted it down and kind of waxed these frames, give it a little bee scent. And we're going to use a cotton ball and just get a little dabble do you here on the porch around the entrance, maybe on the top, a couple little dabs here on top of the frames. Then we're going to take that cotton ball and put it in a Ziploc baggie that I've poked some holes in and just throw it down in the bottom here. And that will be what we're using as our bait. If we don't have any activity up there on the tree here in a couple weeks, I'll come down and rebait it again. And then if we don't see any activity in the next, I don't know, another 2 or 3 weeks, we might just need another location. Speaking of another location, about 2 miles that away to the south, my buddy has graciously offered to let me put our second swarm trap that looks like this one at his place. He's got some horses out there and he's got a nice pasture with a creek running through it and lots of wildflowers and a pond. And so we're going to put that one down there and see what we can do at a different location. So let me know what you think about my little old junky Atwood repurposed nuke box swarm trap. I think it'll work. But if you got any comments or questions, put them down there below, because I'm always wanting to learn, and especially on this new venture. So until next time, you guys be safe. Be careful hanging your swarm traps. And we'll see you on the next one. Adios.